This is case number 3, Spanish bullfighting. I will read the question, then get prepared for my response to the question. Question: does the fact that there is a tradition of doing X count as a justification for persisting in doing X? Clearly, some traditions are judged immoral, and so we halt the practices. Examples: selling one's daughter into marriage, physically disciplining one's wife as one might a child, settling gentlemanly disagreement by dueling, etc. What sorts of considerations prove relevant to overturning/banning a traditional cultural practice? I will now get prepared to deliver my disagreement, or agreement. I'll begin my response to the question now. No, a tradition in doing X does not count as justification for doing X. This is because something unethical that is classified as tradition is still unethical. The considerations that need to be looked at are: who does the tradition benefit, who does it harm, and what is the purpose of the tradition? To first define a tradition. We understand a tradition to mean a belief or custom passed down from one generation to the next. The morally relevant parties in this case are those fighting in the bullfight, the audience watching the bullfight, and Spain in general. So those fighting in the bullfight are a morally relevant party and have a stake in this, because the question has come up whether or not they are committing this act out of cruel or unjust means. Are they doing it because they want to hurt the bull and show violence to the audience? The next is the audience watching. Is the audience watching there to see a bull get mercilessly killed, or is it there to see a respectful act of killing of the bull or a sacrifice? The next is Spain in general. This tradition hails out of Spain, and Spain is morally relevant and a stakeholder because if they allow this to continue, they have to have some sort of justification of why they're continuing to let it happen. Now, if we go into the morally relevant issue, presented by the question and by the case, does a tradition justify an act? And as I said earlier, an unethical act cannot be protected as a tradition. If we go back in time, we go to January 1st, 404 AD. Gladiator fights ended due to the unethical nature of the sport. Prisoners would be forced to fight each other. Being a gladiator, prisoners would be forced to fight each other or animals for entertainment to the crowd. The Roman Empire is popular for this, and they stopped. And the question that was looked at was why? Why did they stop? Because it was realized that it is wrong to watch people kill others for entertainment. So the people out on the field killing each other were being used as a means of entertainment for the crowd. They were there to just show the brutality and to show that, you know, we're prisoners, they can fight animals, and we can watch them die for our entertainment. And they ruled it unethical because we realized as a society, the Roman Empire realized as a society, that watching others be killed for sport is inappropriate and unethical. But this does not mean that all traditions are wrong, but that the basis that just because it's a tradition means it should stand is wrong. I mean, we have Thanksgiving as a tradition, and we just had that, but that wasn't a wrong tradition. That is an ethical act. But you cannot use tradition to classify an act. You can't say that a tradition is ethical based on the fact that it's a tradition. So the questions that we need to look at that were mentioned in my thesis are: who does the tradition benefit? Who does the tradition harm? And what is the purpose of the tradition? So if we look at who the tradition benefits, in the case that we were given, case number 3, Spanish bullfighting, the case it benefits of our morally relevant parties. The bullfighting benefits the bull, it benefits the matador, and it benefits the audience. Now, we look at this from a Western cultural mindset. We look at Spanish bullfighting as wrong because it's killing an innocent bull that's in a ring for maybe, like gladiators, just entertainment. But that is not what they see the bull as in Spain. And from the research that was done, Spanish bullfighting really sees the bull as it respects the bull. It sees the bull more as a sacrifice, a necessary sacrifice, and more like a boxing match, I guess you would say, in a Western culture. They respect the bull and they respect the matador. They respect both sides. And so the tradition benefits the bull because the bull is treated a lot better than its counterparts. If we look at bulls that are just, bred for meat or for something other than bullfighting, they live in confined spaces. They are there just to live and die and to produce meat and be slaughtered. Now, yes, this slaughtering doesn't take place in front of an audience, but this bull, if we look at the bull, that's a bull that goes into bullfights, is treated a lot better. It is let to roam free. It is bred in a way to be a fighter. It is given food that its counterparts are not given. And so if we look at it benefits the bull. Now the bull ends up dying, but all of its counterparts end up dying as well. And if they're born and bred, it's almost as if it's like a horse. There are certain horses that are born in the wild, but a lot of horses that we race are born and bred to be racers, and this is what the bull is. It's respected for that. Its lineage is respected for that. Now, if we look at the matador is also okay in this idea because the matador is respected by others. It is respected by the people in the audience, and it respects the bull. Before a matador takes place in a bullfight, it presents itself before the bull and really shows and looks the bull in the eyes and shows respect for that bull as a fighter. Like I said, almost as if it's a boxing match. So then the last is the audience, the last stakeholder is the audience and Spain in general. Now the audience, we would think, would be just like gladiators. They're there to see the bullfight, and they're there to be bloodthirsty and like, oh, kill the bull, just like they did with the gladiators. Kill him, get the lion, or cheering for the gladiator to kill the lion, and showing brutality for nature and for things. But that's not how a bullfight works at all. The bullfight, the audience respects the bull. It goes in saying, wow, the bullfight had a good fight, but it was sacrificed for a better means. And that bull is then pulled off to the side and immediately slaughtered and given, provided for, its meat is then used to help society. So in conclusion, a tradition in doing X does not count as justification for doing X. But in the situation for Spanish bullfighting, it is ethical because of these things. Because of, if you look at all the morally relevant parties, to have all the morally relevant parties be ethical, it needs that Spanish bullfighting is morally permissible. And the morally relevant issue is that a tradition justify an act, and no, it doesn't. Like as in gladiators, it was wrong, but in the sense of Spanish bullfighting, it is okay. And that was, again, over my time. It was 8 minutes and 40 seconds. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. So I need to shorten it and be more precise in my movements. So please comment.